it's approaching the size of London. Now, Russia's a big country, but it's the absolute sheer embarrassment to Putin, the first Russian leader to lose territory in war since the Second World War. That's quite a blow to his prestige.
The Ukrainian military's top commander has claimed his forces are in control of 1,000 square kilometers of Russian territory as Kyiv continues its cross-border incursion launched last week. Vladimir Putin has described the offensive as a major provocation, and a growing number of Russians have been forced to flee the Kursk and Belgorod regions. A further 59,000 have been told to leave today. Joining us now is Tim Marshall, the author and former foreign correspondent. Tim, good afternoon.
Greetings, Adam.
What do you make of, this real surprise, if you like, in the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine?
It is an absolute surprise, as of course it should be to perhaps both you and I and others, but it shouldn't be a surprise to Russian intelligence, but it obviously was. So they failed again. They failed with their assessments of what Ukraine would do and how it would fight in 2022, and they clearly didn't see this one coming either. It's stunning. Adam, I mean, you said, 1,000 square kilometers. I looked that up this morning. It's roughly 10,000 football pitches, or if you prefer, it's approaching the size of London. Now, Russia's a big country, but it's the absolute sheer embarrassment to Putin, the first Russian leader to lose territory in war since the Second World War. That's quite a blow to his prestige. Now, you'll know your Clausewitz, the German war theorist. War is a continuation of politics. So Zelensky, Ukrainian president, must have two aims here, political and military. The military side of it is the embarrassment, undermine morale, etc., and crucially, to pull Russian forces away from the Ukrainian front lines, so they have to deal with that. And secondly, you relieve the pressure on those front lines. And then there's the politics. He's looking ahead to a potential negotiation if, and it's a very big if, they can hold this territory, they can use it as a bargaining chip. And the other political aspect to it, Adam, I think, is that he knows there may be a Trump presidency. He knows that support could really fall away rapidly. And he's trying to prove to supporters, we are worth backing.
Obviously, he's trying to test Russian resources to spread them more thinly.
Yes.
But I mean, the problem is it must be diverting his own resources as well.
Yeah, that is a problem. It looks, they haven't said which brigades it is, but it's pretty certain if you look at the kit they're using, it's the 80th Air Assault Brigade and others. There's about 6,000 of them have gone in, and all of them are good, experienced, battle-hardened troops. And they were up against some inexperienced territorials who, obviously had no idea what was coming at them. That will now change. The Russian Chechen military aspects of going in, the Wagner group, which is now incorporated into the Russian military, is going in. So there's going to be some fierce fighting. But you're right. If it's, as I think it is, the 80th Air Assault Brigade, that takes one of the top brigades out of the Ukrainian front line. And so if they really struggle to hang on to that, and simultaneously the Russians decide, right, wherever they were, let's push forward in Ukraine, that could happen. So it's a huge gamble by Zelensky, and it is, as I said at the beginning, Adam, it is stunning, and it's another stunning intelligence failure by the Russians.
Do you think it could be, whatever the outcome, the moment which sort of breaks the stalemate in this conflict?
Probably not. But, it's a good question because there is that possibility. Some of the military analysts, the real sort of experienced experts, are looking back at the Battle of the Bulge 1944, Second World War, when the Americans and British Canadians were advancing across France towards Germany. Out of the blue came a German counterattack. Nobody expected it. They were going to break through those lines in Belgium and try and take Antwerp, which was a port which supplied the Allied forces. Didn't work. If it had worked, that would have completely changed the war. So there is this potential that the Russians crumble and fail inside their own territory, which is going to have a knock-on effect. But there's also this potential that you've alluded to of the Ukrainian lines weakening and sudden, because things can happen very quickly in war. What looks like a stalemate can suddenly change. So, yep, that is another scenario which we're all watching in this unfolding story.